Welcome back, everyone. I am so excited about this day. We have amazing speakers with us today, and our very first special guest is Smita Jain. Welcome, Smita. Thank you so much for being today with me.
Hi, Diana. Thank you. I'm so glad to be here. Thank you for giving me a platform to share my story.
I am looking forward to learning from you. Smita is a certified personal empowerment life coach, executive coach, and NLP practitioner. Smita's Empower Yourself coaching programs enable busy professionals unhappy in their jobs find time to transform their passions into pursuits so they work because they want to, not because they have to. Prior to her journey as a coach, Smita worked for more than 14 years in leadership roles with Fortune 500 companies such as KPMG, United Technologies Corporation, and GLL. She is also a TEDx speaker, an expert speaker on various platforms, corporate conferences, and OTT channels, a published writer and Amazon best-selling author. And today she will walk us through quiet time for time management. Welcome, Smita. The floor is yours.
Thanks once again, Diana. Hi to our audience out there. I am Smita, and I am extremely passionate about empowering people to wake up with a smile on their faces every day, every single day of their life. This is possible because they look forward to their day. And the key to get to this state is to love what you do. When you love what you do, you work because you want to, out of choice and not out of compulsion. And when you find time for all that you like, ultimately life becomes a wonderful journey. And currently, fortunately, I am in such a state that I'm enjoying what I'm doing, and I can't even describe the positive feeling I'm surrounded by because of that. But it wasn't always like that. Up until 2 years ago, my work calendar was chock a block with appointments. My work day used to start quite early in the morning and used to continue till late into the night until I used to sleep exhausted on my bed, sometimes with the laptop on my side. I used to work, and only work. My family wasn't sure about when I would be available, even on weekends. It was not that this was what I wanted to do, but somehow I was submerging deeper and deeper into this cesspool of busyness until one day, which it was some time ago, but it still seems like yesterday to me. That was the day, that was the afternoon when the annual promotion list came out in the company that I used to work for then. I was in a series of client meetings, too occupied to read my messages and too busy to receive phone calls, and that was not a one off. It used to be, I was used to be in such a state in those days. It was only sometime in the late evening that I came back home, then got busy with household work, and then again after my family fell asleep, I opened my laptop. Sometime late in the night, when the lights of my home were switched off, I remember, okay, that promotion mail had come. It was then that I opened that mail and saw my name there on the list. But you know what, Dinah? I mean, it was a big day. Of course, my family was asleep, so I really couldn't share the news with my husband just then. But the sad part was that I didn't really want to. I mean, despite all the long hours and hard work I was putting in and day out, I felt indifferent in seeing my name on that list. Heck, I didn't even have the time to enjoy my promotion. It was then that I realized that I was doing something wrong. This is not quite right. I had not slogged through my graduation and post graduation in some of the most prestigious colleges of our company. I was not working in a high profile job in a marquee company only to work, eat, and sleep through the day. I was not working for being busy all the time. And that was the day I decided that I will control my time rather than let time control me. It took a series of steps from then and considerable time spent on self awareness, self exploration, and self discovery to come to a stage where I am today. And today I can honestly say I have all the time to enjoy and savor my life. Now, there are a few structure tools and techniques that I deploy in my life as well as help my clients with to take control of their time. But the one tool that really stands out with its simplicity and impact it creates on one's personal and professional life is quiet time. I would say by far it is the most potent weapon in the time management arsenal. So the question is, what is quiet time? Okay, before I answer a question, let us try a bit of thought experiment, shall we? Questions to the audience out there. Aside from listening or watching to this talk today, right now, what else is in your mind? Is it work? That patronizing email your boss just sent you, the meeting you didn't want to go to, or the mistake you fear you have made? Or is it the food, the cookie you have been craving, the lack of mayo on your sandwich? Is it home, the iron that you left on, the delivery you are expecting, the cereal that is not there in your cupboard? Or maybe it's the internet, the socials you haven't checked, the latest news from the Indian Premier League that is going on, or the notification from your apps or the website. Chances are that there are a lot of thoughts that is going through your mind right now, even as you are sitting here listening to me and Dinah. And you are probably multitasking right now, doing something else besides tuned in to the talk right here. And the sad truth is that in this digital world today, our brain is on a steady diet of noise. And you know what? Much of the digital economy is designed to distract us as we systematically remove any downtime from our lives. And here's just one of the problems with that. If we do not make time for quiet reflection, we are doomed to repeat the frustrations of our current existence. Multitasking is a myth, period. It is true only on paper that a person is able to do several tasks at a time at the same levels of productivity. On the ground, human brains are not meant to function like machines. So going back to my story, in my quest to control my time, I started to keep track of every single minute of my day for the first 2 weeks after the day of the incident that I had mentioned when the promotions had come. In order to find time to finish my work within regular work hours, I had to first understand where my time went. And this tracking activity was such an eye-opener for me. When I analyzed my hours, I realized that I was spending 40% of my time in attending meetings, 30% in writing and reading emails, and 20% in answering phone calls. That left me with just 10% of the time to think of my priorities during the day, reflect on my actions, and also to squeeze meal and break times. No wonder sometimes I used to skip meals. And no wonder that I preferred working late in the nights until it became a habit. For I wanted uninterrupted hours of focus time for tasks that required my individual attention and focus. And while this sacrifice of my personal time to organizational requirements maybe was a boon to my organizations, after all, I was achieving my KRS. It certainly played havoc with my personal life and well-being. And unfortunately, I was until some time ago, not the only working professional with this story of a day filled with distractions and interruptions. The constant clamor to schedule our way through the day, checking and replying to emails and notifications the moment they ting, to answer our phone the moment it rings. All these are distractions that interrupt our working day and lead to loss of focus hours, which are an imperative to be productive. Numbers don't lie. They tell their own story. And unfortunately, this loss of focus hours is not a love story. A recent corporate study threw light on the fact that on an average, an employee spends at least 1 to 3 hours a day on distractions. If you take the standard 8 hours as a basis, a quarter of working time is spent on non-professional tasks. And unfortunately, after the onset of the pandemic, and it's yet not over, this diet of noise only increased with overflowing inboxes, back-to-back meetings, and so did the incidences of what I call the work-life breakups. Now, in a quest to find solution to this work-life breakups, organizations all over the world started on a quest to study productivity data. I'll take an example of one such organization, Microsoft. So in 2021, it essentially studied the productivity trends, the data of the employees, as well as the customers it had worldwide to find an answer to this work-life breakup problem. And that study revealed that 1 year into the pandemic, that was the time period then in the middle of last year, weekly time spent on MS Teams more than doubled. And the average person spent 42% more time in chatting or sending messages in Teams after work hours. During the same period, the employees' satisfaction with their work life dropped by a whopping 13 percentage points. After more focused studies around the data, Microsoft discovered that this problem of work-life, this dissatisfaction with work-life balance stems from three key factors. One, over collaboration. Two, lack of uninterrupted focus. And three, skipping time off. Employees who spend the most time collaborating, that is attending meetings, sending chats, writing emails, rated lower satisfaction with their work life than those who had fewer hours of collaboration time. On the other hand, employees who were satisfied with their work-life balance attended 25% fewer meetings during the day and on an average spent 6 hours less per week collaborating. They also sent 29% fewer emails in general and 36% less emails after working hours. This finding of Microsoft study is nothing but an aggregate of individual experiences. Every employee, every team in every company, and every company has some self-inflating habitual practices that makes the work take longer, leads to the nerves getting frayed, and drains out performance, making people, in this case, the employees or entrepreneurs, or even the head of corporations employing those employees, feel overwhelmed. Emotions drive people, and people drive performance. An overwhelmed and drained employee has no positive emotion to drive her, and one day she breaks. At a cumulative level, the issue compounds and manifests to what we are now seeing as a great resignation. Individuals and companies unfortunately keep these self-inflating habits that make work more frenzied and unsustainable. And yet they are surprised when something like the great resignation happens. Isn't that insanity? The quiet time is one of the key solutions to this individual issue of overwhelmedness and the collective organization concern of great resignation. So I come back to the question, what is quiet time? Quiet time are blocks of time during the day with no interruptions, both physical and digital. It is an interruption-free time zone of dedicated focus time that you keep for yourself to work on matters that require your individual attention. During that block of time, you keep off from any meetings, phone calls, and emails, and focus only on the task that you want to get done. And you will find that you will accomplish your work much faster without browsing the net with all those notifications turned off. Unlike the temporary solution of digital detox, where you switch off from your phones and mobiles for an extended number of days and get back to the same routine, quiet time is a permanent adjustment of behavior that you incorporate every day in your life. You put down your smartphone and close that inbox for a certain number of working hours every day. As a personal example, there are 2 blocks of 2 quiet hours, where I work with no interruptions every day from 9 to 11 a.m. and then again from 3 to 5 p.m. During that time, I don't permit myself to browse the net, keep any internal meetings, and don't look at my phone. My focus is only on the tasks that I have to finish. During the rest of the day, the interruptions continue as usual. The result for me is that even on the busiest of days, I work on my work. I wrap out my work around 7 p.m. In fact, on that is on a busy day. On regular days, it does not take even that much. I don't remember the last time when I switched on my laptop during the weekend. My productivity has increased during these free focus hours, which gives me the time and the leeway essentially to deal with distraction and interruptions as they occur during the day. This simple behavioral adjustment has made a big difference in my work-life integration, as well as for my clients. This is also a more sustainable way to work. As I said earlier, numbers tell their own story. The Microsoft study that I referred to showed that employees who were satisfied with their work-life balance had 30% more focus hours vis-a-vis those employees who reported a lower satisfaction. Another global survey revealed that 10 minutes of quiet time improves employee productivity by 27%. It is not without a reason that they say silence is golden. Now, Diana, people like me and you who are entrepreneurs and work our own hours can decide our own block of quiet time and adhere to it. But in the high pressure corporate world grappling with great resignation, this quiet time has to be institutionalized to enhance employee productivity and well-being. So how do organizations do that exactly? They need to create a work format in which an employee is not distracted for a certain amount of time, a common company-wide block where they're undisturbed by their surroundings and messages. Here are 4 strategies for organizations to institutionalize quiet time. Number 1, they can build in breaks between meetings. The focus needs to shift from maximizing meeting time to maximizing meeting effectiveness. And they have to build a company-wide default in their email settings to build in breaks. A small breather between collaboration sessions gives employees a chance to grab a glass of water, get ready for their next call, or simply to mentally transition before a new situation. Number 2, avoid bookending the week. Time at the beginning and end of each week helps employees to transition. If you fix that meeting first thing on a Monday, an employee will spend his weekends full of stress. Instead, better to designate Monday first half as collaboration-free focus time so that the teams are set up to collaborate throughout the week. Similarly, embracing no meetings Friday for employees to wrap up their unfinished work during the week will give them a much needed breather before they transition to a weekend, and they will not spend their weekend working. Number 3, formulate policies to respect and encourage quiet time. Have a company-wide block of common focus hours during the week, which will allow employees to engage in deep work and dive into projects without the apprehension that somebody else will interrupt them during those hours. Designate those hours and use technology to communicate the same to employees, vendors, as well as clients. Use technology to permanently block these hours in your company email and intranet setting. This will provide an element of predictability to quiet hours. Number 4, make quiet hours a real deal through leading by example, especially during the initial period. Leaders need not only propagate this quiet time, but also tom-tom about the achievements that they did during these quiet hours. This will encourage the rest of the employees to use this block. Now, that was a top-down approach to adopt quiet time. But busyness is also a behavioral problem. An organization is made up of its people. Each one of us watching this episode can contribute to a positive work culture here. So you might be thinking, what can I do today to stave off this steady diet of noise? Plenty. You actually don't need a beautiful chair or a biometric algorithm to enjoy some quiet time. Start by permitting yourself to stop, be still, switch off. When your mind is full of a steady diet of noise, you close your eyes and take 3 deep breaths and remember of the moment when you were happy from inside. Stay in that moment. Listen to your breaths. And that would be the first step you would have taken to incorporate quiet time habit in your day-to-day surrounding. I hope you do practice it. You will see the benefits when you start using this simple technique in your day-to-day life. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Smita. I am speechless. I don't know what to ask you because you gave the solutions, you gave the problems and everything that's happening in the world. And I find it such an important topic that we need to deal with. Absolutely. I fully agree. And I can fully relate to what you are saying myself, because this was my situation also in the past. But I would like to ask you, because I know that I would say that this is more definitely in the organization, in the work environment, it's a big problem. But I would even dare to say that it became kind of a global problem for whoever is out there in the world, whether it's business owners, whether it's a mom, or whether whatever professions we have, because of what you mentioned, the distractions that we are constantly having from internet, from even the information that we are receiving, speaking engagements, all these podcasts, everything that's out there, we have the impression that constantly we need to be on the phone or on the computer to hear something. And it's very difficult to take that time for ourselves, to just be with ourselves. What would you advise those who cannot do that? How do we do that to actually really block, I don't know, 5 minutes in the day just for ourselves and be quiet with ourselves?
Okay, so Dinah, there is a simple exercise. Okay, I mean, this practice of being mindful, it's a muscle. So the more you practice, the more it will strengthen. So actually, there's a simple exercise which will take less than a minute. So if you're up for it, I can just demonstrate it for our
Yes,
audience out
yes,
there.
please.
So I invite you, Dinah, to close your eyes and take 3 deep breaths. So this is a 3-step exercise. Focus your attention on your right big toe and wiggle it. Wiggle it 3 times. Now, focus your attention upwards to your right elbow. From there, gently shift focus to the center of your chest. If you lose focus, shift your attention right back there. You're ready for the next step now. Breathe slowly and deeply. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Imagine the air entering and leaving through the center of your chest. Listen to the sound of your breathing. This step is bringing you in sync with your emotions and drawing out the energy of your head. That is where the noise and most of our negative thoughts are concentrated. Now, remember a time you felt good inside. This could be a time where you were alone or with your family, or simply a me time reading a book, but you were really happy at that time. Try to re-experience that feeling. Focus on this feeling as you breathe through the center of your chest. Inhale, exhale, while staying with that feeling. Now you have that positive feeling that will make it easier for you to stay focused in the moment, even when there is a lot of noise and distraction around you. Slowly, when you are ready, open your eyes. How are you feeling, Dinah? My turn to ask you a question.
Thank you, Smita. I feel peaceful, and it kind of gives me energy to continue all the other tasks. And I would even dare to say that because I connect to myself, it gives me confidence that I can pursue whatever comes in the day. I
Ex-
personally love these moments with myself, and I know that the guiding the meditation always helps, for me at least. So maybe this could be a good idea for those who are listening to us to try this as well with a guided meditation.
uh, Maybe this guided meditation, even when you're in a work surrounding or surrounded by people, okay, when you can't listen to music or such guided steps, all you need to do, you don't even actually need to close your eyes if you have practiced it for a certain period. You
Mhm.
need to tap into your inner self. Sitting in that chair, essentially, you can listen to your breaths and go to your focus on your heart and feel that feeling. What you're doing is mindful. We start our day with a certain objective, and the call came, someone knocks at our door, and then some urgent problems come, and we get overwhelmed.
Mm.
That is the time for us to, go back to being mindful. And after you do that, you tap into your inner self. Go back to the most important task for the day and tackle it. This will help you to, basically switch off from all the noise around you and focus on what you have at hand. So
Yes,
that
absolutely.
this trick always works for me.
Mm.
And that is what I thought when you asked me this question, that it might help our audience as well.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Smita. And one example that I have in mind when I was in the corporate world, working, as you mentioned, like really many hours, at some point I took a training on stress management. And I remember very clearly sitting in that training and stressing because I was in that training and I couldn't fulfill all the other tasks. And then I thought about myself, like, this is crazy. You are here in this training to learn how to handle the stress, and you are stressing because you are dedicated this time to something else and you cannot fulfill those tasks. And I believe that the big challenge we have nowadays in the corporate world are the deadlines for the tasks. You mentioned a few of the tips on what the organization could put in place in order to actually improve this culture of doing, doing, doing. Do you think we can do something else by ourselves as individuals to handle this stress of the deadlines?
Yeah, absolutely, Dinah. I think, as I said earlier, also in my talk, multitasking is a myth. So
Yes.
you can, we make the mistake of scheduling our calendar throughout the day, that 9 to 10, I will do this, 10 to 11 will do that. What we are doing is just increasing our to-do list. We are not really prioritizing. Human mind is made for prioritization. It will work better when you prioritize. So the best way is to decide on, I call it the game of three. Decide on your three key priorities for the month, chunk it down to the weekly priorities, then chunk it down to the day, three priorities for the day. And when you start your day, be absolutely clear, these are the three priorities I need to work on. If if I accomplish this, my day is made. If I don't, then my day is not that great. And if I accomplish it well within the time, which you will when you have those dedicated focus hours and only three priorities to focus on, you will find you will have a lot of time in hand to deal with the contingencies and urgencies that will inevitably creep in. So be absolutely clear about the three priorities. Don't prioritize your schedule your priorities, I would say.
I love that. Thank you so much, Smita, because I believe that everything that you are explaining requires a lot of discipline and a lot of structure. And I know that not many people have this, that we are kind of running wild and being sort of in chaos. And from what I feel, your energy and the way you talk, and also the way you structure your talk, it gives me the impression that you are someone who is very structured and very organized, and you know how to handle your day. How do you do this? How can we also do this? Because we are going to take your role model. How do you do it for yourself?
So, actually, at the end of every week, Dinah, on a weekend, I spend 1 hour with myself reflecting on how the week gone by go. What were the positive things? What are the negative things? What did I accomplish? What could I have done better? And how could I have done better? And based on the learnings, I also decide as I said, the game of three. I decide on my three priorities for the week, the outcome. Okay. So if today is Sunday, I usually do it on a Sunday after I'm in a calm and cool mind, no working and everything. And then, I decide, okay, this is the outcome I would like to achieve by Friday of next week. So these are my top three outcomes. In order to do that, I need to achieve this every day of the week. And so on this yellow sticky paper, I have actually that paper on the table where I'm interacting with you on the laptop. I write down my three priorities every day for Monday to Friday. So Monday, these are my 1, 2, 3 priorities. Tuesday, these are my 1, 2, 3 priorities until Friday. So when I come to my desk at 9 a.m. in the morning, my day actually starts earlier because I write. So that is, early morning is one of my block of quiet time and the world is asleep. But my regular business hours for coaching, that starts at 9 or 9:30 a.m. depending on the day. The moment I come at my desk, I look at that sticky note and I know, okay, so these are the three priorities. These are my focus hours, 9 to 11 and 3 to 5, as I mentioned in the talk. So within those focus hours, I have to complete the three priorities, no distractions. And I sit at the desk and start doing it. And you know what? When there are no interruptions with those 4 hours of quiet block during the day and with the priorities decided, it took time. When I started, it took me time to even think about it. But now the work gets done. And that has been my mantra and it has been working. And as it is working, I have been following what is working. It's a process that is working for me.
I love that. Thank you so much, Smita, for being with me today and for sharing your knowledge, your life lessons and experience, because this helps everyone, not only the busy professionals, but also business owners and everyone out there who needs actually this quiet time in order to lead our life, because this is what it is about in the end, to be happy with what we are doing every single day. I would like to close today by asking you, who are you serving and how can people contact you?
So the key target segment are busy professionals, what I once was, on a period of time, mid-career professionals essentially who have some amount of money but less amount of time to do what, and they want to do a lot in life. So essentially they are unhappy in their work, and I help them to find time for all that they like so that they transform their passion into pursuits and work when they want to, not because they have to. And they can reach me on my website, www.lifecoachsmitadjain.com. They can even, I have a complimentary strategy session, 1 hour complimentary strategy session if somebody wants to discuss their issues with me. So they can, go to my website and right up front there on every page, there is a booking tool. Looking based on the availability of my calendar, they can book my time and then we can meet and discuss and see if and how I can help them to solve their problems. And I'm also available on LinkedIn and Instagram. My handles are Smita Das Jain on LinkedIn and Smita D Jain on Instagram.
Thank you so much, Smita. Once again, I am honored to have you here and I'm grateful for your time because I know your time is valuable. So thank you once again.
Pleasure, Diana. Have a great day. Bye-bye.